bring a little bit of perspective into a conversation which is rolling on social media. When I was very little, I must have been, I want to say maybe 9, 10 years of age, I was sitting next to a good friend of mine, and we were having a conversation, but I noticed that she at one point became very quiet and she was looking down. She was looking down, it seemed like maybe at my arms. My arms were just sort of relaxed and like so, and I was sitting right next to her. She was about maybe 6 or 7 years my senior, and she became quiet, and at one point, almost without her noticing, obviously, she almost seemed to get close to my arm and almost touch it. And at that point, being a child, I looked up at her and I said, "What are you doing?" And she says to me, "You have such beautiful skin." And what I did not tell you was that my friend had been burned from the neck down, possibly, I want to say over 90%, basically. When she wore clothes, you could see her skin, the clumps and bumps of the burned reaction on her skin. You could see it clearly. And she was told by her doctors, you should not get pregnant because the skin will not give. It was so tight because she had gone through a lot of operations to even get her arms and her body to be pliable at the extremities again, because as I understand, a curtain behind her had caught on fire, and her being a child, instead of running away from danger, she coiled. And when she coiled and the curtain on fire fell on her, draping her, then basically it melted her body in a way that even the skin at the elbow would be melted together, and she could not even do this. So she had to go through a lot of surgeries to at least have some movement in her arms. And still, the burn was so bad that you could see it through any clothing that she wore, basically. And I never saw her the same way again. As young as I was, that had an impact on me. And a lot of things I learned as young as I was, one of them definitely was, not every time somebody stares or has a reaction has to be something negative. Sometimes people are going through something of which you might not be aware, and they react a certain way, and our immediate thought might be something negative when in reality it might not be. But that's not the reason I'm telling you the story. The reason I'm telling you the story is because some out there, obviously not many of you, but maybe some of you needed to hear this, just because it is about sometimes putting things in perspective for us. And when you look at the mirror and you see an image that you don't like, let's say you're complaining about your hair. If you think about it, how many cancer patients who have had chemotherapy and have lost the entire set of hair would give anything to have the hair of which you are complaining every day? Or someone with alopecia, and somebody who lost all the hair would give anything to just have hair, regardless of color, texture, just hair, so that they can brush something. Or how many people who have lost their face in a car accident, a plane crash, would give anything to have the face of which you complain every single day and you're looking to change through Botox or surgery or whatnot? How many? Or how about someone in a wheelchair who does not have legs any longer? When you look at your legs and you complain about your legs, but they're working legs, they are working, but you complain about them because you don't like them yet, you could possibly be doing something about it, like some kind of an exercise, but you continue to complain about it. How many times would someone in a wheelchair would give anything to have those legs of yours? Or how many times have you complained about your skin and you want to do something medically or surgically, you want to do something to your complexion, your skin, because you don't like it? How many people who have been badly burned would give anything to have normal skin, regardless of color, age, or anything? Just how many people would just give anything to have your skin? And again, life is about putting things in perspective, and a lot of times many of us do not learn that until we're much older. But I truly believe that if we teach the young kids, the young children from a very early on, if we teach them that, then when they grow to be much older, they will not be taking risks with their health and doing all sorts of things to their face and bodies in an attempt to be somebody else, to look like someone else, or just not to look like themselves. I think that the more we instill this into kids, the healthier, mentally healthier adults we're going to see in later generations.